Welcome to Under the Covers.
Where all of our cards are on the table, whether we meant to play them or not.
I'm Bill.
And I'm James.
We're the founders of Iowa Cover Crop, and we disagree about nearly everything.
These are the same conversation we've been having for years, usually over a beer.
It starts with farming and usually ends somewhere else.
No script, no sales pitch, no guarantee we're right.
To keep this from turning into a 3-hour debate, we play a game of cribbage while we talk.
When the game's over, the episode's over.
Somebody's probably wrong.
Someone's definitely losing. This is Under the Covers. All right. So just a scoring update. We are 1-1. This is
Both pretty contentious games.
this is the rubber. They have
First rubber.
The first rubber. This is the first rubber.
We are playing, I don't know, I don't think we ever talked about this. We should establish this. My grandparents always played a penny a point.
Okay.
We're not responsible enough to keep track of points.
No. How would they do that? I was thinking about this.
They would write it in like a ledger.
Okay, but like, all right, if you got 100 and the other one got 120, would you owe 20 pennies?
Yeah, but it was like a running tally.
Oh, okay.
So, for years. I don't know if they paid off at the end of the year or not. I'm not sure.
Did they, was one of them consistently better than the other one?
They were both pretty good. Grandpa was a really good, he'd go to like the county fair and all that stuff all the time. He was quite a card shark, but Grandma was, I don't think anybody was like going to the pawn shop after the game. Like, I think it was pretty tight.
Yeah. And would they play like every, after supper?
They played
over lunch?
A lot. Yeah, I bet especially, like when they were in their 70s and 80s, I bet they played pretty much daily.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they would play daily.
Yeah.
I can't say I probably started playing cribbage a little bit. Two. Big ace coming up. Big ace. King. I drew the high card there. So I would say cribbage, we didn't really play it much when I was growing up, but I started playing a little bit in college just because it's kind of like a game you can play with two people rather than like watching TV. Like you're playing cribbage, you're having a beer. It's there's not that many two people card games really.
Yeah.
I mean, most of them are like hearts,
right.
4 people, pitch, 4, or 2+ people, right? And so there's like not a lot of those. But then they would always play cribbage at Readers in Grand Junction at like coffee. My old boss would call coffee time Liar's Table. It's like they play at Liar's Table. That's what we'd always call them.
That might be the only problem with cribbage is there's no like bluffing in it, right?
Yeah, there isn't any bluffing. Yeah, there. Do you think I should get? So I have a 5. Here's
Just
my
let me
hand,
see your
everybody.
hand.
No, I'm not going to let you see my hand. I have a 5 that doesn't fit.
Just give it to me.
What is your thoughts on giving you a 5 in the
Book
crib? I'm not going to book it. I'm not going to do that. But it also makes more sense to give it to you than use it in my hand.
Well, don't be afraid to be nice to me. We would always play at like pool tournaments when I used to play a lot of pool tournaments.
Okay. I gave you that 5, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
If I lose
this is going to be a fast game.
Yeah.
Because, like pool tournaments are mind-numbingly boring. And so you have to have something to do in between
there's
matches.
2 points for you. Queen just came up. So you would play cribbage at pool tournaments too.
Yeah.
So the topic of this podcast, we have Megan's in charge of like the topics.
Yeah.
And so she told us the topic was PFI, even though we could probably go on cribbage and board games for at least 15, 20 more minutes.
We went last weekend to the Practical Farmers of Iowa annual conference. Had a great time. We've been doing it basically since our inception.
When do you think we got our first booth?
I bet it was 8 or 9 years ago, like probably 2 years into the business, maybe.
Yeah.
So PFI was, like our biggest cheerleader getting started. Like they bent over backwards to see what we would do, which was pretty cool. And so we don't like to miss a PFI because they treated us really well. So we kind of owe that to them. That's a great farm advocacy group. If you're not a member and you're in Iowa, do it.
Yeah.
They're the best.
Yeah. So our first one, we didn't really have anything other than some like little flyers we probably printed in our home computer. I remember we didn't have anything at all. So I brought a monitor from home, and then you brought your laptop because we had like 4 pictures.
Yeah.
We could put
maybe a little
there.
video of an airplane moving around.
A video of an airplane. But had you ever gone to a PFI before, like before we went?
I had been to one, I think. I'd been to several like similar ones, but not PFI. That was a great hand. Holy crap.
I know. That's why I gave you the 5.
Jeez.
Hey, hey, before you go, did I count that right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I was hoping for the 9.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
If I would have got the 9 or the 6.
I'd have thrown them in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't. So I did, though. Nathan Anderson talked, and he was a freckle-faced kid, might have still been in college.
Okay.
And he was the smartest dude I've ever listened to talk. And he's still he's a great customer of ours. We chatter back and forth about cover crops all the time. But I just remember seeing him talk at PFI, my first PFI, and being like, oh, geez, this kid's way smarter than I am.
Yeah. And I would say my first PFI is I had never.
I also got 12.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd never probably been to a conference like that would I'd say, can I say free spirit farmers, hippies is what I call them. I'd be like, oh, this is right up Bill's alley. It's a bunch of hippies. And so I've never been to one where it's like, you're doing what crazy thing? And then my mind would just go because I'd be like, what crazy thing can I do? And surprisingly, which is kind of the nice thing about our parents, is I would come up with a crazy idea and they'd say, yeah, well, I actually just had this conversation with my dad this morning. And I was like, I got this crazy idea. And it was about nitrogen this actually ties in with PFI. It was I think I'm getting screwed. I don't know if I need any nitrogen at all. I don't know. Because I raised corn last year, I didn't put any nitrogen on just after soybeans, cattle, manure, and it's transitioned to organic, and it did 180 bushels. And I was like, and my normal corn did 230, but I put 200 pounds of nitrogen. So did that 200 pounds of nitrogen only get me 30, 40 bushels?
Right. What's the ROI?
And so I was like, Dad, we have this hairy vetch in. We have about 160 acres hairy vetch. And I'm sure this is what you're supposed to do for research. I have 4 different or 6 different varieties of hairy vetch. And then I want to do a nitrogen trial on top of a hairy vetch trial, which I'm sure is all kinds of, I don't even know how standard deviations work, but I'm sure it breaks some of those.
I don't even know what that word was.
Oh, that's another topic. But but at PFI, you would have people that would do this all the time. And so I want to try a nitrogen, a little 10 acre, 20 acre nitrogen trial on my farm, because I want to see, what if I am getting screwed? What if I don't need any nitrogen?
You should talk to PFI and do a trial.
I know I should.
So PFI.
Here's the problem is I'm not organized enough. I'll think about the trial, and I'll decide to do the trial when I'm in the tractor putting on the anhydrous.
Great.
But I'm only gonna
and then you'll forget.
And then I'll forget. And I'll be too lazy to flag it.
Very much how I am.
Okay.
Yeah. So PFI is a farmer-led advocacy group, and they do farmer-led research. So it's like a lot of people that work at PFI are researchers by trade, but the people actually doing the research are farmers. So you get a lot of like real world, hands-on, hey, this worked, this didn't work, type of stuff that you don't really get in a lot of other stuff.
And they're doing, because it's farmer led research, that you're getting research that, like this nitrogen trial, who would fund a nitrogen trial that doesn't use any nitrogen? Well, only a farmer's going to fund that, because like no big chemical company like Koch's aren't gonna.
Yeah, the Koch brothers aren't signing up for that one.
Yeah, if you're looking for a sponsorship, we are sponsoring this. I don't think Koch brothers going to sponsor Under the Covers. But yeah, it's like, yeah. So no one's gonna pay for that.
22.
22. Okay. No. Yeah. 30.
Go.
Yes. No one's gonna pay for that. So that's why PFI is kind of cool. And
yeah, you get to talk to a lot of like, what I think is really fun every year is you might be in a conversation for 20 minutes before you figure out, because we're cover croppers, everybody essentially in agriculture uses cover crops. If you're a livestock person, you might use cover crops. If you're a corn or bean person, you might use cover crops. If you're a vegetable producer,
yep.
And you might talk to somebody for 20 minutes and not know, is this what am I getting myself into? Am I talking like a quarter acre? Or am I talking 10,000 acres?
Yeah.
You just never know.
And we've had both.
We've had both. And they don't advertise it generally. They're pretty close to the vest, that group.
Yes. So we just got back from PFI. It was in Des Moines. It used to be in Ames. Back in the day, it was in Ames, but it was in Des Moines. It's at
Hy-Vee Hall.
Hy-Vee Hall. I was going to say Casey's Center. Same thing, basically.
Yeah.
It was a Hy-Vee Hall. Yeah.
Des Moines.
They say around 1,000 people went there. We had a booth.
Is that right?
That was a room around the street.
Yeah, it's just a great weekend. They have a bunch of different seminars you can poke your head into, and then they have a big trade show. We always have a booth out there. There's a lot of booths there. You can find about anything from, like horticulture stuff to anything. So it's a huge, diverse mix of people, which is pretty fun.
Yeah.
What did you pick up on, whether it was in a seminar or in a conversation, that like really got the gears going?
So I only went to, this is going to be horrible of me to admit this. I think I only went to one seminar. What typically happens is I get to talking to someone at the booth, and then I'm 10 minutes late for the seminar, and then I duck in, and then sometimes I miss the intro.
Yeah.
And I have a very short attention span, and if it's like, all right, this isn't like, if it doesn't find me right away, I just kind of shut down.
Same. I always stand by the door because I know I'm probably going to leave.
Exactly.
Even if it's great.
I did the same thing. I went to one, and it was habitat, and the person didn't have any slides. And I was like, how can we talk about native habitat without any slides? And so I was like, I'm not going to listen to you talk.
It might have been great information.
It could have been great information, and I didn't get a chance.
I'm the same way.
So then I went to one on like allelopathic differences, or allelopathic rye.
Oh, yeah, I had a corn right?
And it was
rye,
okay.
Planting corn into rye.
But my problem is I'm not very smart. And sometimes the people giving the seminars are.
Yeah.
And so I have a hard time understanding what they're saying. But it was okay.
Yeah.
So I went to one seminar, the only seminar I went to, and it was, they talked about having like the different allelopath in the cereal rye. And I learned something. which I probably been telling customers wrong this whole time for 10 years. But I asked the question, I said, is there anything different, like the allelopathy in rye compared to winter wheat? And she's like, no, there's no difference. And I was like, ah, crap. I've been telling people for 10 years to plant wheat in front of corn because it has no allelopathic effect. And she's like, yeah, you're an idiot. Like, that is not true. And so, but she did say in their trials that.
Go.
Oh, perfect. You say it again. Say it again.
Go.
And the pair.
Go.
So, is that 2 goes and a pair?
Son of a buck.
But she did say that.
I'm going to get the same thing is the problem.
The wheat is the wheat like is way better to plant corn into because it doesn't get as tall because it's not only the allelopathy, but it's also
the aggressiveness of
the
plant,
aggressiveness and how tall it gets and everything. And so
sure. We plant a lot of our corn into wheat. Yeah, and then let's see, you went to virtual fencing, right?
I did not go to virtual fencing.
I did.
I talked to someone. So just as Bill said, sometimes you learn just as much in the hallway as you do in the seminar. I talked to someone about virtual fencing, but let's talk about virtual fence. You talk about the seminar.
Man, that was one of those guys that was way smarter than me also.
Yeah, that's most everybody.
Well, it's nice that I'm not in denial.
What was so Bill and I, we graduated in the same class. What was your class rank? We graduated with about 100 person. So it was pretty easy to figure out what percentile you were in.
I was a really good test taker and really bad at doing my homework.
Or were you a really good cheater?
I wasn't a good cheater.
Oh.
I'm a terrible liar. I don't know. I think I was in maybe like 24 or something like that.
20 like from the bottom as like the 24th dumbest one?
No, I think I don't.
24.
I don't know. I have no idea.
You never that isn't like a number that sticks out?
Here was my academic career. I got a pretty good ACT score for like a farm kid.
Yeah.
But I also I had to build my math teacher something like a prop to hold her window up in the hot days so that I wouldn't fail Algebra 2.
So
that was kind of the story of my career.
You got to 24 through bribes.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, look at this fan. We got a good hand here. Good hand coming up.
Hot hands all around.
All right, so what were we talking about? Virtual fence.
So I went to the virtual fencing, which is something I'm interested in. So it's like you strap some collars on your cows, and it's like a dog fence essentially, right? Like an invisible dog fence where you can draw GPS boundaries, make a paddock, and then move them tomorrow because they're wearing these collars that are connected to the satellites.
Yep.
And then, you can move all these cattle without setting up paddocks, or you can run without any outside perimeter fence.
Do they ever lose signal per se? Like if it's cloudy, or if it's raining?
There's some workarounds around that. It's not like a systemic problem that people are super concerned about. And each system is different. Like some use a base station in the pasture that you set up, and some are like just strictly GPS based. So like it kind of runs off like cell service. But a pretty cool, really cool use of technology. And I have a pasture that has 70-year-old fence, and it's terrible, and it's kind of timbery, so there's trees falling out all the time, and it's right by the orchard, so I'm always having a mild anxiety attack that I'm going to ruin Fall Festival because my cows ate all the pumpkins at night before I got them in.
Yeah, that's always your excuse of not being able to help you. I got cows out of deals.
So for that, it's perfect, because even if they do get out, I get an alert to my cell phone.
Oh, I didn't think about the alert.
And then I can be like, oh, geez, that is in the pumpkin patch. I better go now.
Yeah.
Which is pretty handy. Pretty slick stuff.
So you went to the actual virtual fence talk.
Yep.
I ran into a customer who we kind of have an acquaintance with. He's a fighter pilot. Having fighter pilot friends is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So he's a fighter pilot. Our friend is a fighter pilot. He's the one that does the aerial application, Ryan Stott. He does the aerial application for it. He's a fighter pilot. And so we have this fighter pilot connection. We haven't said in the podcast, we have a plane.
We can't get into that right now.
Okay, all right. Okay, so he's a fighter pilot. I'm a pilot. So we're bonding. He has cows. He's doing some cool things with alfalfa and the cows in the alfalfa, like grazing sorghum Sudan grasses. We can get that. That's another topic. Like we can go a whole episode there. And but he had like 200-ish cows with these fences, collars, and he's like, "Let me show them to you." And so he showed me on his app, and we had lunch. And we talked more about it, and he's like, "Here's the crazy thing: I have no perimeter fence here." I was like, "What? You have 200 cows? You are 4 hours from home?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Is there anyone home?" He's like, "Not really." Like, he's like, "But they're not going to get out because I had them on there since May, and I'm very confident in it." And I mean, fighter pilots are confident in
to a fault.
They have to be, But anyway,
where it applies to us, that's really cool. Is
16 right here, by the way. Okay,
let me check this out.
It's I might not count enough.
Fine, whatever. Where it applies to us is we have a bunch of people that put cover crops out. They have cows, but I have fields like this where I have zero fence around it.
Yep.
But I'm letting all this beautiful forage go to waste because I'm not going to build fence on every acre, especially stuff that I rent, right? Like,
well, yeah, that's the problem. It costs about $2.50 to $3 a foot to put fence in right now, and if you don't own that farm, or if it's a neighbor across the road,
you're not going to do it.
Yeah, it's a $30,000 investment. You have to have like a long-term lease to do it or to do it. But with the virtual fence, you can just pop them out there. Mm-hmm. Another thing I'm excited about with virtual fence is both Bill and I have small grains, and after the small grains is a great opportunity to graze cattle, graze cows, steers, whatever. And these farms, again, might not have fence, but then if you put an annual forage with them, what can happen is like the cows can like stomp that annual forage in, and like you don't utilize it as well, because that's what, I forgot what his name, well, he told me his call sign. Fighter pilots do call signs.
Where's he from?
Northwest Iowa, like Lyon County. And I'm going to feel bad now because he's going to probably listen to the podcast because he follows us, and he's going to be like, that asshole didn't remember my name.
He's one of our 70,000 followers.
Yeah, that asshole's not going to remember my name. But I remember the conversation, which is, I think, the important part. Just good hands. Bill, just good hands here. Anyway, so with the small grains, after small grains, you get to plant a annual forage, and the annual forage can be grazed. Typically it gets away from us too fast, and we can't graze it in time. So, all right, so that's virtual fence. We're halfway through the game. We can talk about other things we learned at Practical Farmers.
I learned this in the hallway also, but we were talking, Melissa and I were talking to a nice older couple in eastern Iowa, and they raise kiwi berries. You ever heard of a kiwi berry?
I have not, until you told me all excitedly about them.
Kiwi berries are, geez.
I kind of whipped you on that, didn't I?
Kiwi berries are basically just a kiwi. They're like a winter hardy kiwi. They grow on like a grapevine. They produce crazy amounts of berries. They're sweeter than kiwis. They have no fuzz, and you just pop them in like grapes. Coolest thing I've never heard of. And this family has, they want to retire, right? But the business is too good. They sell out all the time.
So, okay. So, like, how big are they?
The kiwiberry?
Yeah.
They're like,
Describe it. We're on a podcast. You can't, like, put it like.
I would say they're like a small peach, like a small white peach, but like a little more like football shaped.
They're that big. Do you think you can sell something in the store that isn't round?
They can't keep them. They sell out too fast.
They're too popular.
But the reason I think this is interesting is we're in a really rough farm economy right now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it just goes to show that there is a million ways to skin this cat. And if you're willing to get out of like the norm, there's still a ton of ways to get excited about agriculture.
Yep.
And not saying that, like corn and beans, it's cyclical. It'll come back. It'll be fine. But
And it probably will.
it'll be fine. But there's so many ways to make money farming. And these people just figured it out and just did it on their own. Like they're not worried about crop insurance. They're not worried about ECAP payments, nothing. They're just making it on their own and they're doing a great job.
Where do they sell? Well,
They sell a lot to schools.
First, give us a scoring update.
Like the last two games, we are 15 points from the home stretch here. And I am down by 1 point.
I don't think you can do it with counting first.
I can't believe you had 16. You're not going to make it out this time.
I'm going to make it out.
I bet you get 4 this hand. I bet you $1 you don't make 4 on your hand.
Whoa. You bet $1 that I won't get 4?
I'll bet $1 you don't get 5. I think you'll get 4.
Oh, you're on.
All right. Not counting the count. I mean just in your hand.
And the crib?
Nope, just your hand.
All right. I'll take that bet. You just want to give me that $1 now? Or?
Yeah.
No, but you are right. That is probably the coolest thing about PFI is there is more ways to do it. And
This is rough. Do you have 4?
I have 4. Do I have 5? I don't have 5.
$1.
No, but we haven't flipped it yet.
What do you need?
Face card, a 10, an 8, a 9.
There it is. Whoa. You got to discard first, you cheat.
I was going to discard these 2 cards.
Okay. It was a king. It was a king. I'll give you the king.
Yeah, okay. Jack, same. Well,
Fine. Is that better or worse?
It doesn't make any difference to me. It doesn't make any difference to you.
Actually, the king's better for me.
Well, it's Jack then. We can call it a king. We'll call it a king.
Right, let's call it a king.
Okay. I have no idea where we're at because this last hand is actually going to be pretty intense. 17. Let's count this one.
We're locking in?
We're locking in, counting this one.
Okay.
17. You're up.
I know I'm up.
The clock's on. Tick, tick, tick.
26.
Should we do it like they do chess? Where they hit the little thing. 26. 31. Boom.
Son of a gun.
Okay. 20.
25. You were supposed to not have a 5, and then I was in. All right. Okay. You got one for last. I don't want you to not go out and blame me.
Okay.
When you're reviewing the game footage tomorrow.
All right. So, what were we talking about? Actually,
Just like the diversity of ideas.
And I really think like that is the coolest thing about PFI is, like you said, everything's down to the dumps. And how can 2 people that we talk to in the hall be so excited? Because when I talk to with virtual fence, he's going to add cows. He like sees this huge expansion going on because of this technology that is not only like, virtual fence is really good for the environment.
Right.
And I have no idea about kiwi berries, but they're probably good for the environment too.
Yeah, I mean, sustainable, yeah.
It's a perennial. I had 6 there, by the way, so.
Jeez.
All right.
Way off.
I need 6 here, and I'm not going to get it.
You're not going to get it.
I only got 2.
So I had one pretty cool interaction that I wouldn't mind sharing.
Yeah.
Because you never know what you're going to get, right? Fine, right?
Yep.
It was 9:00. Melissa and I had just finished setting up. Really hadn't even sat down. Just got the booth set up.
Okay. Oh, 9 a.m.
Yeah. First day.
Okay.
And this older gentleman walks up to us and starts shooting the breeze, and we're building a lot of common ground. I went to college and milked cows kind of right down the road from where he lives. We knew a lot of the same people. So we're kind of building a connection, getting along great. No prospect of selling this guy anything because we know where he gets his seed and they're great people and they're family friends of his. So like, there's no like seed salesman hat on, right?
You weren't like, you didn't slick back your hair.
Yeah,
and, like,
no,
put, like,
I wasn't like wheeling and dealing and trying
Yeah.
to like cut this guy out. But he, we talked for 15 minutes probably. And he pulls out this penny out of his
Oh yeah, I forgot.
pocket.
Yeah. All right.
And he says, "What do you notice about this penny?" And I said, "Oh, it's 1943, so like a World War II year. Like that's got to be pretty rare. That's pretty cool." And he's like, "Yep. Do you know what's cool about this war year?" And he says, "This 43, they strip all the copper out of the penny, right? So it's an all steel penny.
Oh, because of the war.
Copper goes into the war effort.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
And so he goes on to this I wish I could tell it half as good as this dude did. He goes on to this long story about how this tiny little insignificant penny, it's only worth a cent. It doesn't take up hardly any room in your pocket. You don't even know it's there. It sacrificed its copper. That copper went into the war effort, which changed the whole world as we know it today. And he says, like this tiny little insignificant sacrifice that this penny made changed the world. So just imagine what you're doing out here, just like being friendly and trying to do something good for the environment. And man, I thought I was going to cry at 9:00 in the morning on a Friday at PFI. It was beautiful.
And he gave you the penny.
And he gave us a penny. Okay. It was the sweetest thing I've ever had.
How many 1943 pennies do you think he has? Like,
I bet he makes them in his basement.
Okay,
I don't know, but he's apparently got a pocket full all the time at the ready.
I guess. Or do you just like bring 3?
Yeah, probably 3.
Or maybe he's never given one away, Bill, and you're that special.
I don't think I'm that special.
I'm giving you another 5 in the crib.
You have that big of a hand and you
Yeah.
count first? I'm in trouble.
Yeah,
I got to score big here.
you have to win on the count, otherwise it's over.
Jeez.
So that's kind of sums up PFI, and it doesn't matter. One before you even accounted. 3, 9, 2 and 1, baby. So
I can't believe this.
that kind of sums up PFI.
Yeah, great people, great food. It's all locally produced food, which is awesome.
The food at PFI is way better than any conference.
It's worth the ticket.
Yep. And if you ever, this summer, there'll be all kinds of PFI field days, which are really great.
Yep.
Go on the website.
They archive them all, so you can watch them online whenever you want. Just Google the subject you're interested in.
Yep. And the food is good at all those field days
Oh,
because it's all local food, sometimes organic, but always local and really good by like local chefs and local caterers. So you're not getting like the same cheesy potatoes. I've never had cheesy potatoes at a PFI event.
I don't know. Yeah.
Unless they're local cheesy potatoes.
It's all within their network. Like they really believe in supporting their producers, which is awesome.
Which is kind of like us. PFI is all about revitalizing rural America, revitalizing like young, new beginning farmers. And like, that's really what Iowa Cover Crop's doing. So
yeah,
we like to support them and we enjoy going to the conference. So
shout out.
We'll see you another time.
We'll be back sometime.
Yep. Thanks for listening.
Like what you heard? Follow us between episodes on Facebook and Instagram at Iowa Cover Crop. Or send us an email and tell us what you really think at info@iacovercrop.com.